Ebusiafo na etifo ni die kwan so mema obi bia kwa baba channel me pa cha daily update TV obo kwan so say no first time baba channel semester so share video ni wie na se woni dwon be subscribe for more updates like ni share video no so what comment bi so constructively fashion comment section my beji na kinka me pa cha and parliament na heated pa na Haruna Iddrisu na was sorry or mama na opportunity no so give you up a good your friends say submission and ni submission is very very good pa and I'll share how we defend Mahama 24-hour economy no and that is the 24-hour economy policy no and the way I will say reacted to the minister now by no be can sem no me pacho the men sem mre a video yenko hwe sa video no na yenso de wo bia no eche ye de ba be kam onyankopon nhira ye nyina no nya Kesi me da se.
Now, any development you have now, it is because I sat on it. I did not think that it was good, but I went through and we did some modernization. That's why I allowed it. So I want to let you know that anybody making allegation about armed forces land is not under my watch. Not a single piece of land from the CDS office or army office or anybody has been given to anybody. If land has been retrieved, 26 acres of land was given around the Mahama runabout. I stopped it. 26 acres was given in December 2016, and I stopped it. I reported the matter to Yoko. Yoko looked at it, and I won the case. The Minister of Defense won the case, and we cancelled it. It's in the budget. Look at it. But it's for public good. It's for public good. That's why I'm saying this.
Honorable Minister,
I thank you, Mr.
I'm
Speaker.
so grateful.
God bless you for giving
Thank you very much. Your time is up. Very well. So we will also begin from this side. Honorable Haruna Iddrisu. Honorable Haruna Iddrisu, I give you 20 minutes.
Speaker, thank you very much for your generosity and for the opportunity to contribute to the budget statement that was presented to this August House. And Mr. Speaker, let me respond to the Honorable Minister for Defense. I expected him, together with his senior brother that he's sitting with, the Honorable Minister for Interior, the Honorable Ambrose Derry, to express disappointment that the Interministerial Committee of the Security Ministers, your requirement, even as we consult quietly, was for government to make available to you at least $2.5 billion US in order for you to be able to contain terrorism, the threat of it in our country, equip both the military and the Ghana police to adequately prepare and to get you ready to keep our country safe, secured, and peaceful. So, Mr. Speaker, when I see him dance around, now praising what has never happened since 1992, talk about the present and into the future. And then, Mr. Speaker, he makes it easier when he talks about the Afari Hospital, the second biggest military facility other than the 37 military hospital. And rightly so, it was commissioned by President, the short curtain was done by President John Dramani Mahama in March 2014 to serve the northern, upper east, and upper west region, as well as neighboring countries. I understand what he has done further in getting Eurojet, the contractor, to get it to completion. But Mr. Speaker, again, very interesting government. They showed us when the Minister for Finance was here, Tamale International Airport, Kumasi International Airport. They say it is to their credit. They now give the credit to John Mahama and the NDC if you want the credit for Afari. Because the foundation to expand the Kumasi International Airport and to expand the Tamale International Airport were the doing of John Dramani Mahama and the NDC. But for them, Afari should be given credit for Afari. Yet the NDC should not be given credit for laying the foundation for the expansion. Mr. Speaker, so I come to that. Mr. Speaker, this administration, again, Ministry of Defense, what is happening to the state of pensions of the Ghana Armed Forces? The NIB Bank is in some financial crisis of a sort. and provides guarantee to the pensions of the military. We need assurances from you that the bickering we are hearing arising out of the safety of that resources is guaranteed. Say, what have happened to the promotion within the armed forces? We need to know, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I also premise that in responding to this budget, we've heard our colleagues state, and Mr. Speaker, if you refer to a paragraph in the budget, 449, they are talking about a ninth economy. Ninth economy. To contradict what President John Dramani Mahama have launched as a 24-hour economy. Mr. Speaker, all that President Mahama is indicating, as he then was, is that in the 24-hour economy, public goods and public services, he wants a fundamental change to how that is assessed. So that, for instance, if you wanted a national identification card and you were in a queue up to 5 p.m. and you have to go home because of 5 p.m., no, his 24-hour economy meant that you must get that need, that public goods, today and not tomorrow. So what he is talking about is 24-hour economy, Mr. Speaker. What he's talking about, you need to understand, not ninth economy, is that in a 24-hour economy, he simply wants to achieve that the time transaction cost for the clearance of goods at the port will be made with ease, and that the Ghana Customs will now work 24 hours to reduce the cost and transaction of doing business in Ghana, so that when you are an exporter or you are an importer, you are assured that within 24 hours the port will be functional. If you do not understand it, say so, Mr. Speaker. Say so, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, all that President Mahama is advocating is that any Ghanaian entitled to a public good or public service who deserves that good today, should not wait to assert it tomorrow. Not what you are arguing in your budget of a ninth economy. You should understand it. He is simply saying that we should change our way of doing things as a people and as a country in ensuring that those services are made to the Ghanaian people. Then, Mr. Speaker, when he was talking about those institutions, into 2024, Mr. Speaker, there will be what you call in Ghana political accountability. Both Parliament and the President will have to go through some accountability exercise. There will be major presidential and parliamentary elections into 2024. We need assurances from you, the Minister for Defense and Interior, of the readiness of your men to safeguard and provide for the conduct of free, fair, credible elections. But, Mr. Speaker, we don't want a repeat of what happened in Techimasa. Mr. Speaker, if you look at their combined budget, it's about 12 billion Ghana cedis. That's about $1 billion US. They need about $2.5 billion US. So I expect you to be crying that you need more adequate additional resources to keep the Ministry of Interior active, the Ministry of Defense active and functional. Mr. Speaker, we can understand why this government cannot adequately resource the Ministry for Defense and Interior. Only last week, Mr. Speaker, you came here to borrow cocoa. Parliament approved $800 million US for cocoa. Mr. Speaker, Bloomberg reports that it is the costliest ever borrowing by the government of Ghana, with the highest interest rate on record, purporting to increase cocoa production from 683,000 to 850,000. But, Mr. Speaker, what is even more worrying is that Cocoa Board is reaching out to its partners to borrow additional $400 million US. Go to Article 181(1) of the Constitution. Any money to be borrowed for and on behalf of any public entity requires this parliamentary approval. So don't come here and say that I'm getting approval for 800 million, but I'll walk alone to go and get another $400 million US. You need parliamentary scrutiny. You need Parliament must appreciate and approve the terms and conditions of that agreement per Article 181 of the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, again, I heard Minister talk about expansion of infrastructure. You inherited infrastructure on behalf of the Ghana Armed Forces and on behalf of the Ghana Police Service, both of you, whether Minister for Interior or Minister for Defense. Successive government, from President Rawlings to yesterday, have worked to expand infrastructure for them. What we need to know is, and you recall, Minister, that my conversation even about some other housing facility was for you to dedicate it for the purpose of it. Mr. Speaker, again, when you look at the budget, Office of Special Prosecutor, you want to combat corruption. The Special Prosecutor from Martin Hamidu to the current person in office is saying that we don't have enough resources to combat corruption. Mr. Speaker, what is it that we spend on him? Whether it's 149 million or 129 million in 2023, the money he is likely to recoup and the prevention he is likely to make in his quest to combat corruption far more exceeds what we should be giving him. So we expect you to adequately resource the Office of the Special Prosecutor and stop this excuse. Even recruitment, he is struggling to get just the core people that will work with him to make this corruption fight a reality. Mr. Speaker, then this one, I see the majority leader stated, those days, he will make correction, so I'll do correction. When you have this, and he said the budget statement and economic policy of the government of Ghana for the 2024 financial year, presented to Parliament on Wednesday, November 15, 2023, by Ken Oforiatta, and then you say, on the authority of His Excellency the President, you go further and say that in accordance with Section 28 of the Public Financial Management Act 2016, Act 921, go and add Article 179 to that. It cannot. When you come to this Parliament, you are coming on the constitutional strength of Article 179, and you can add Public Financial Management Act. Or better still, next time, be silent on it. Don't come and tell us that it is on the basis of Public Financial Management Act. No, you are here on the authority of Article 179. And Mr. Speaker, that means that this Parliament must itself do well. The audit service must begin procurement audit into road construction to guarantee value for money for the Ghanaian people. What is the quality of the asphalt road we are contracting? The layers we are contracting. You see a road 2-3 months after it becomes a pothole road. What is the quality of it? We must encourage the Auditor General to move into conducting audits, procurement audit, roads audit to guarantee value for money. Mr. Speaker, when you hear this government say that they are building Agenda 111 hospital, at what cost? $17 million for one? Many other district hospitals were built for lesser cost. Lesser cost. Yes, lesser cost. You are aware that even your Minister for Health doesn't know what happened to Agenda 111, including your
Honorable Leader and Honorable Member for Temari South, please address me.
Mr. Speaker, let me conclude now. Let me conclude. The Honorable Minister for Finance, Ken Oforiatta, have said that he has turned the corner. Which corner? Which corner? Our external creditors, you are yet to conclude and have some bilateral agreement with them. You are looking for fiscal space of $10.5 billion US. China $1.9 billion, $5.6 billion US to the multilateral, bilateral, $13 billion US to your commercial bondholders. That you are likely to secure in the first quarter of next year. When you have not secured, and Mr. Speaker, in Ghana, this nomenclature called debt exchange and debt treatment only happened under the New Patriotic Party government. No Ghanaian have ever heard of debt exchange. We didn't know it. This is how you have negatively impacted the economy. Pensions have been impacted, quality of living have been impacted, unemployment have been impacted because you borrow. In this house, Mr. Speaker, when President Nana Addo came for his first State of the Nation address in 2017, he said, and I quote, colossal, 120 billion. Today you are at 587 billion. That is what has necessitated your negotiation, both domestic debt and external debt of about 58 billion US. I pray that you are able to get these negotiations concluded so that the city can stabilize. Mr. Speaker, today, you know what they want us to praise them, that the city is doing well. Doing well from where? You inherited a city to dollar of 4 cities. Today it's 12 cities. And you say we are doing well. We should praise you. Praise you for what? Praise you for what? From 4 to 12 cities is 300% increase in the exchange rate regime. Debt restructuring, deficit. So, Mr. Speaker, when we say political accountability,